98 FM's Dublin Talks. Call 6797 981.
And good morning from Adrian Kennedy. How are you today? Hope everything is good with you, and I hope you can stay with us between now and midday today. And as always, we've an awful lot of stuff to get through, and we'll try and squeeze it all in. But first off on the programme, I want you to grab your phone and I want you to send me a WhatsApp right now in answer to this question. Do you have something in your house? I want you to have a reason for asking this. Do you have something in your house that is a little bit posh? An expert in etiquette has revealed a list over the weekend of things or items in your own home that is a sign that you're a little bit posh, or that you think makes you a little bit posh. The list includes owning a top-of-the-range coffee-making machine. Now, not just your average coffee-making machine. This is a posh one that has a frother on it. And lights that can be controlled by your mobile phone. That's a little bit posh, isn't it? It includes... Now, this is me. I have this. We have a Dyson vacuum cleaner. You know, the one that you plug in? Now, it is the dog's you-know-what. It's brilliant. It really is. It was expensive, though. And that's the one thing that we have in our house that makes us a bit posh. Other than that, not an awful lot. But rather than tell you everything that has been listed, we want you to tell us, what is that one thing, or maybe many things, that you have in your house that makes you feel, you may not be, but makes you feel a little bit posh? For example, our Jeremy has 2 pieces of original art on his walls, no less. He says fine art. He bought it off a railing at Merrion Square, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, he has some fine art, 2 pieces of original art on his walls. And he also has a tropical fish tank, which he says looks very posh. Now, it's only a glorified goldfish bowl, but, you know... I'd love to hear from you. What is that one thing that you have in your home that makes you feel, you may not be, but makes you feel that little bit posh? Call me right now on 6797 981, or better still, send me a WhatsApp voice note to 0877 98 98 98. What is that one thing that makes you, even if you're not, because let's face it, very few of us are, that makes you feel posh? So for me, it's the Dyson vacuum cleaner. It's, you know, it's above and beyond. It was a bit more expensive than your average vacuum cleaner, but boy, is it mega. It is mega. Call me right now on 6797 981, or send us a WhatsApp voice note to 0877 98 98 98, and let us know what is that one little thing that makes you, that you have in your house that's a little bit posh. Just a teeny weeny bit posh. Let's have a listen to... oh, hang on. Oh, yes, sorry. Tracy or Trish? Oh, Tracy. Tracy, good morning.
Where's your phone?
Hello, Tracy.
Hi, Adrian.
How are you, Tracy?
How are you?
Now, Tracy, I've just been sent a photograph that you sent in to us. And what is that thing in your house that makes you a little bit posh?
We have the drinks trolleys on our...
You have a drinks trolley? Hello, are you there? Oh, we've lost her.
Oh.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
What are you at?
Oh, sorry. Michelle was putting me onto the Bluetooth.
Oh, right. Sorry, you have a drinks trolley in your house?
Yeah.
How posh is that?
I know. I'm not being... I don't even really drink a lot.
Right, you don't drink a lot, but you have a drinks trolley, no less. And I notice on your drinks trolley, like, you've bottles of gin and bottles of whiskey and... Oh, very posh.
Yes, we are.
A drinks trolley. Okay, very good. That's a little bit posh, it has to be said. Thank you very much indeed, Tracy. What is that one thing that you have in your home that makes you a little bit posh? Dermot?
Adrian, we have a Delft set that doesn't see the light of day, and if you take anything out of it, it has to be hand washed and neatly put back into the press. I don't get it.
Dermot, you have a Denby set, is it? That's what we use for all of our dinners. Yeah. Jeremy's only allowed to use his mother's Denby set. Here, Jeremy, our regular set of Delft is Denby. It actually is. Anyway, what is that one thing that you have in your home that makes you just a little bit posh? Okay, is it a dinner set that never sees the light of day, or is it? Maybe it's one of those, like I just got a message in a moment ago. Now, this is posh. I'd like to have one of these. We have, says this person, a Samsung Family Hub American fridge freezer that has an iPad on it. And I'm listening to the show on my fridge. Oh, that is posh. And he sent me a photograph and everything, and I can see the fridge, and I can see the 98 FM logo on your fridge. That is uber posh. That is extraordinarily posh. And it has a camera on it, so you can look inside. You can look inside the fridge. Oh, here, this is just ridiculous. So you can be leaving work. You can look inside your fridge with your phone to see what's in the fridge, so you know what to get in the shops on the way home. How posh is that? I'll have to get on to Mrs. Kennedy now and see if she'll agree to me getting one of those. That really looks, that's mega, that is. I have to get myself one of them. Jason, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Jason?
Not too bad. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Jason. Jason, what is that one little thing in your home that makes you feel a bit posh?
I have a hot tub out my back end.
Have you?
It's technically not in the house.
It's what?
But it's technically not in my house. It's out the back end.
No, that's all right. Yeah, no, that's very posh. But here, I have to ask you. I'm just looking at the weather for the week, and it's going to be fairly gank for the rest of the week. Can you still use the hot tub when the weather's manky?
Oh, you have a gazebo over it, yeah. So
excuse me. You have a gazebo over your hot tub out the back so you can use it year round?
Yeah.
Oh. Now, do you use it year round? When was the last time you were in it?
A couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago. And do you find, or have you found, that you're using it less and less?
When I'm back in work, yeah, you're using it less and less, but you'd still get into it 8, 11 and 12 o'clock at night. Still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 38 degrees to 40 degrees in it, so...
Oh, lovely, yeah. Right. And how often do you change the water in it?
Oh, you don't, you just treat it.
Oh, right, okay, so it's constantly recycling the water and cleaning it.
Yeah, because the first one I got it, I filled it. A couple of days later, the water man was on, so...
Oh, right. So you were lucky you got it filled.
Yeah.
So you do still use it even in the middle of winter?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, that's fair. And with the gazebo on top, it doesn't matter if it's lashing rain. It's probably nicer, actually, if it's lashing rain, is it?
Ah, yeah, it's nice and relaxing, yeah. The only problem is getting out.
Oh, yeah,
when
it's freezing, yeah. Right, Jason, you're officially posh.
No, listen, I'm on the north side of Dublin. I'm not posh. I'm nowhere near posh.
Good to talk to you, Jace. Thanks very much indeed. Keep them coming in. 0877 98 98 98. We want to know what it is you have in your home that makes you a little bit posh. Stephen sent me this.
In my mother's, what we used to have was a 40 toilet seat cover with a matching mat. That was considered posh in the 70s. Not very hygienic, me think not.
Is it Danielle on line 3?
Hiya.
Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Good. I don't think I'm posh, but I have a few nice things, or things that I like in the house. I have, like you, I have the chargeable Hoover, but I have a Shark because I prefer the Shark than the Dyson. I do have a lazy spa.
Sorry, is that similar?
Yeah.
Is it? Right, okay.
Yeah.
But it's not a Dyson.
No, it's not a Dyson. I do have a lazy spa as well, a jacuzzi. I do have one of the Posh coffee maker machines with the froth thing that you said. And you know the thing, the radiators, I think, well, they're kind of more popular now. But you know the towel radiators in the bathroom?
Yeah.
To heat up your towels.
Oh, yeah, we have one of them. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez, I'm very posh, I am. Yeah, we have a radiator that you put, a heated towel rail, basically.
Yeah, but I agree with that guy. I think the best one is the lazy spa. It really is.
Yeah, I've often thought about it. I've often thought of getting one and, spending a few bob on
It's well worth it.
But I reckoned... You see, my missus isn't great with water anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I could end up just spending my whole time sitting out there like a loser on my own.
But it's totally different than going to the sea, and don't get me wrong, that's lovely too, or going for a swim. It's a jacuzzi, it's relaxing, my mum got one as well after I got mine, and she has osteoporosis, and she finds it great, after a hard day's work to get into it and just relax. And
have you got a gazebo over it?
I don't. I'm not that posh. No.
All right. So if it's piss and rain, you don't go out.
It anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's lovely when you're in the hot jacuzzi, and then the rain is just falling on your face. It's lovely.
Oh God, that's very posh. How much was it? Was it expensive?
400. Well, I ordered mine from Asda and got it delivered to my parents' hotel, so it was €400 worth it.
But you do use it. That's my biggest worry, that it'd end up just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, no, I do use it.
Right, okay. Right.
Winter and summer.
Okay, I'm going to invest in one. I'll just sit out there on my own.
Yeah, even on your own, it would be nice.
Okay, all right. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much. Okay, terribly, terribly posh. This is Notions. This is Jenny.
Hiya, Adrian. So we're not posh at all. In fact, our house is falling apart with 2 young kids. But we have one thing which makes me feel a little bit posh, which is a bathroom TV, so that I can lie in the bath and watch, usually Home and Away. But at least it's in that one room. It feels a little bit posh, with all the kids' bath toys. Okay, bye.
Oh, a bathroom TV. How posh. We don't even have a bath, let alone a TV. Well, we got rid of the bath, to be honest, and we put in a lovely shower room, but no. A bathroom TV. You'd never get out of the thing, would you? Dave, what is that one little thing that you have that makes you a little bit posh?
Morning, Adrian.
Morning, Dave.
Yeah, I actually have 3 Rolex watches.
Oh!
Yeah, I've 3 of them, yeah. I got them there about 2 years ago. Only cost me €50 actually off a lad down on the beach in the Canary Islands. Yeah, so that's my claim to fame. 3 of them.
3 Rolex watches sold to you by a Lucky in Gran Canaria.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, yes. No, they haven't turned green yet, have they?
Well, no, I'm afraid to wear them out in case I'm robbed,
Yeah, no, I would be as well, because they make your wrist go green, or they go off colour as soon as they get out into the fresh air.
That's it, yeah.
Are they even still telling the time?
Well, I haven't really I haven't put batteries in them yet, because I'm afraid to open them in case, damage them.
So what do you do with these 3 Rolex watches? Do you just look at them?
I just look at them there, and remind myself of how posh I am.
Right. You see, you're not posh, Dave, can I just tell you, if you can't actually show off your Rolex watches.
Yeah. That's I'm a bit of a watch connoisseur, you see now.
Oh, excuse me. And come here, do they even vaguely resemble a proper Rolex watch?
I think the actual sign in it looks more like the Maserati sign, but yeah, they're all right, like.
Right, yeah, okay, very good. You're very posh. Good luck to you, Dave.
Right, cheers, good luck.
Thanks very much indeed. My missus just texted me to say, we're posh because we have a utility room. Well, we do, but everybody has one of them now. It used to be posh back in the... Everyone has a utility room. It's the dog's bedroom, actually, had the truth be known, with the washing machine and the fridge. And my wife just reminded me, and we do, painted by a friend of ours, but we have 3 pieces of fine art, no less. So there, Jeremy, you've only 2. We've 3 pieces of fine art. Painted by a friend of ours, mind you, but anyway. Samantha, what is that one thing that you have in your home that makes you a little bit posh?
Well, it's not my home, Adrian. It's in my mum and dad's, but I still get down to use it every now and again. Sauna.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have an uncle, and when I was a young fella, he was Mr. Posh. And the reason he was Mr. Posh was he had a sauna up in his attic. And I don't know if he ever used the bloody thing, but he did. He had a sauna up in his attic. That made him very posh. A sauna is posh.
Yeah, well, they had at the top of the stairs there, you just walk up the top of the stairs and there was a space there that was just used for storing crap all the time.
Yep.
And they just looked into getting a sauna years ago and they got a price for it, got it put in, and now most of the time it's not used, but a lot of the time during the winter, if you have a bad cold, if you go down and sit in it for about 15 minutes, it's great for clearing you out, you know. And,
like I said, my uncle was really posh. My Uncle Vivian, he was really, really posh from when I was a young fella because he had a sauna in his attic, and that was uber posh. But I've never gotten saunas. I've never enjoyed a sauna. I
prefer a steam room myself.
I mean, you walk in and it's like, geez, what am I in here? I'm sweating like a pig here. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. No, I would, because I wanted them to get a steam room, but they went for the sauna. But it does the job when you have a cold anyway.
All right, okay, that's what makes your mammy posh. Having a sauna, yeah, that's very, very posh. This sounds amazing. This is Robbie.
Morning, lads. We got a wet room installed in the house there about a year ago. There's 7 different shower heads, lighting in it. There's music and all comes through. Like, brilliant setup. That's probably the poshest thing we have in Airgaff. Thanks, goodbye.
Thank you, Robbie. This is from Bill.
Lads, can't come on. We have a cleaner that comes in once a week.
Oh, that is posh.
And when you come in from work and your house is spotless, it's just heaven. Beds are made, house is hoovered, floors are washed. It's just heaven. And the stove is ready to light. Oh, the stove, yeah, posh. It's just unreal. Best 30 quid you've ever spent.
A stove and a cleaner, no less. That is, and a cleaner is just a sign that you're a lazy git, really. And this is Stephen.
Hi, Adrian. This is give you the ultimate in posh. A 6-foot grand piano. Oh. Yep, 6-foot, beautiful mahogany style grand piano. Okay, thanks.
It does actually sound posh, doesn't it? And you sound a bit posh as well, Stephen. A 6-foot grand piano. My waterfall shower and my multi-jet tower shower makes me feel posh. Now, I've never gotten these showers. You know, the ones that spray water out at the side of you? No. You want to just coming down over your head. That's enough. Adrian, if you have a hangover, half an hour in the sauna will have you feeling brand new, says that message. Adrian, I like to think I'm fairly posh with my apartment, and only fools and horses' shower curtain must be considered posh. No. Shower curtains are not posh. Can I say? Adrian, I wish. Loads do not have a utility room. Okay, so some of you don't have utility rooms, but it's not as posh as my missus seems to think it is. It's not really a utility room. It's just a chunk taken off the kitchen and made into a separate room. That's basically it. Anyway, they were some brilliant ones. Final one. I have a hot tub in my gymnasium in my house. The other wing of the house has the bar. I can send you pics, says Damien. Go away, Damien. No, I don't want to see your pictures of your bar and your gymnasium and your hot tub in your gymnasium. Very, very, very posh. Anyway, thanks very much indeed for all of your messages. They were brilliant. You're listening to 98 FM's Dublin Talks. This is Adrian Kennedy, and we're here with you until midday today. We're going to be talking about the countdown to Christmas 2020 and what that might entail after the break.
The sound of the city, from Blackrock to Ballyfermot. This is 98 FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
COVID-19 infection rates in Ireland may be slowing down, but does that mean that Christmas for most of us will be a normal one, just like every year? Probably not. But we want to hear from you. Every family at the moment is thinking about this. What is Christmas 2020 going to be like? Will the big Christmas dinner with relatives be happening? Will it be safe to have Granny in the house on Christmas Day? Will it be safe to do the annual popping into the neighbour's house on Christmas morning for a drink? We want to hear from you about what you're thinking of for Christmas 2020. Do you plan on restricting your visits and social contacts this Christmas? Have you already decided that you won't be treating it like a normal Christmas this year? Well, health experts, one of whom we'll be talking to in a moment, are warning that despite the current lockdown, it is impossible to avoid continued restrictions over Christmas 2020, or else we're back in square one next February or March. Now, that obviously is a nightmare scenario. And Professor Anthony Staines, that I'm going to talk to now in just a moment, is basically saying if we can stick at this for another couple of weeks, if we can make Christmas 2020 much more subdued than it normally would be, if we can keep some restrictions in place, we may avoid the cycle going over again and us being back at square one in February. And I'd like to hear from you on 6797981. Text, WhatsApp, or send a WhatsApp voice note to 0877 98 98 98. DCU's Health Systems Professor Anthony Staines joins me on the line. And Anthony, good morning to you, and thank you very much indeed for joining us once again. Would you like to see these current level 5 restrictions continue throughout December?
I'd like to see a clear plan to eliminate circulation of this virus over the course of December. So that means three things. One is continuing levels of restrictions. Maybe I worked out at county level. The second thing it means is a lot more emphasis on case finding, contact tracing and isolation. So the kind of very basic public health. And the last bit is continuing wearing of masks, cough hygiene, washing of hands and social distancing. The Irish population have been great. That's why our number of cases is going down so quickly. But if we stop while there is still a lot of virus circulating, the number of cases will just bounce back up again. Christmas is going to be challenging this year anyway, and I think many people have indicated that they want a quiet Christmas. There's certainly been conversations on radio stations, for example, about people travelling in and out of the country for Christmas, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of popular support for it. Polls say that the Irish population understand what needs to be done. They're not pleased about it. Nobody likes restrictions. Nobody likes lockdowns. But if we put in place a serious plan to get this virus under control, we can have our lives back in the new year. I'm looking at colleagues in Melbourne who are going to parties and going to pubs and going out to horse racing and going to sports events. There's no reason we couldn't be doing the same thing here by certainly February.
So your biggest concern is that if come December, and a lot of people have bought into the level 5 restrictions with the hope that come December we can have some sort of a normal December stroke Christmas. Are you saying that if we do that, we're going to be back at square one again in January?
By February, yeah, we will. I mean, it's a choice. It's a political choice, and it's a choice for the government to make. But the public health advice, I think, will be very clear that if we make that choice, then there's a price that we will all pay for that. So what we do over Christmas is going to be a real challenge. You know, Christmas is a time for family. It is a time for socialising. It is a time for retail. Part of what we're going to need to do, I think, is to buy a lot of online stuff from Irish shops. And several papers and radio stations have long lists of Irish companies that sell online. a lot of chambers of commerce are setting up, you dial in the website, you phone in and you collect from the shop. So all of this is about keeping retail going, keeping businesses going. Talking to small businessmen in my area, the business in the week before lockdown was extraordinary. They did a significant chunk of their usual Christmas business in that week, and they're now all selling online. So it's up to us. It's up to us to decide how we get through this with minimum damage, because nobody wants lockdown. But if we don't have a level of restriction, we're going to be back here in February, another cycle of spiking cases, locking down the country again, more jobs lost. I'm looking at the NHS where yesterday they announced that they would go from one nurse per patient in intensive care to one nurse to every 2 patients in intensive care. And that just gives you an idea how bad things are in our nearest neighbour.
Okay, so as we know, we are almost halfway through our level 5 restrictions. Come this Thursday, we'll be 3 weeks in. So another 3 weeks to go. In theory, we'll get the cases right down to what Dr. Tony Holohan was looking for, under 100 cases per day. And we seem to be heading that sort of direction.
Yeah.
But if you had your way, what sort of restrictions would you like to see remain in place for the month of December?
If I had my way, I would put 30 or 40 million into tracking and tracing now. I just spend the money because it's going to cost us far more than that if we don't. And I'd get that set up with regional public health units. And over December, I think we play it by county, because by December, in some counties, there will be very, very few cases. And it is possible to open up those counties a bit. In other counties, and unfortunately I think Dublin might be one of those counties, there will be too many cases for that to be safe and advisable. What will happen is down to the government, not down to me.
Okay, so can you see a situation come December that most of the country might be on level 2, which could see hospitality reopened, and counties like Dublin remaining on level 3?
I would be thinking more about most of the country in level 3 and counties where there's high numbers of cases in level 4. The government's plan is to stay in level 3 until a vaccine arrives. That's in a nutshell is the government's plan, and it's a not unreasonable plan. I don't think it's the best plan, because the plan, it doesn't get our economy back to anything resembling normal until we have an effective vaccine given to the whole population.
Okay, but you're looking at places like Australia where they have gotten right on top of the virus again, to the point that the country has almost, not quite, but almost completely reopened. But it hasn't totally reopened in that their borders are closed. We can't do that.
We can. The logical way to do this is at European level. So just as Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific are now effectively a single travel area, and they're looking to expand that, the logical thing to do would be for Europe to do something similar. But to be honest with you, unless somebody leads, unless somebody shows political leadership, that won't happen. And I don't think there's any reason why Ireland shouldn't show leadership. Micheál Martin has form in serious political leadership in public health initiatives. Maybe this is his opportunity to do it again. Stephen Donnelly is well capable of doing this. He's a very bright guy, very organised, really understands how things work. But the government has to come. The government has to come behind this, because they're elected to make these decisions. I'm not elected. But if we don't do something, we will be back where we are in maybe February.
And
we'll
obviously that's
again in February, March.
Yeah, obviously that's our biggest nightmare. A year into this thing, and we're still dealing with rolling lockdowns. So you would like to see us maintain a heavy level of restriction for the whole of the Christmas period, with the hope of getting the cases right down to nearly zero, and then the economy bouncing back essentially. Is it realistic, after all we've been through in 2020, realistic to expect that people would adhere to a strict lockdown over the festive period?
I think over the Christmas itself, people are going to need to see friends. People are going to need to see family, and I think very clear advice on ways of doing that safely is going to be needed. I'm under no illusions that people will not sit in their houses over Christmas, but actually the Irish population support bringing this under control. I think the Irish public get this, that we should have got this under control in the summer. For a variety of reasons we didn't. And we're not the only ones. I mean, all across Europe has had the same problem. And it's not because Europeans are biologically different from anywhere else. It's because we all made the same mistakes as countries. We didn't take this seriously. Countries where infectious diseases are major killers have all controlled this. Canada has largely controlled this, for example, much less fuss than maybe some European countries. The British economy has been wrecked by COVID, and they're now coming into Brexit in a terribly weakened condition. It would have paid them dividends to bring this under control. The Americans are going to need to bring this under control starting on 20th January because their health service is overwhelmed, their economy is in serious trouble. We can actually do this, and if we do it, there's a huge economic win for Europe. Countries whose economies have coped well with this are the ones that have brought the virus down. China has done really well economically over the last 9 months, and that's partly because they brought the virus down.
I know, but they have a much different regime in China in terms of controlling people's movement and freedom.
Australia's doing well too, and Australia's very like us. A lot of Australians are of Irish ancestry, and the culture is very similar. Which is why Irish people fit in well working in Australia. But they've done it. The Canadians have done it. Even if you look in South America, the Uruguayans have done it. And the Uruguayans are no different from the Argentinians, who are literally the other side of a big river. But their government took it seriously.
Okay, so what you're saying is, unlike back in the summer when we almost kind of rushed the reopening of Ireland and we now find ourselves back where we started almost, you're urging, if not the government, then people generally to stick with this right through December, get the case numbers down to almost zero, and you believe we could avoid another cycle in the new year?
We can, yes. Whether we have to decide to do that, and I don't think we're going to do it without political leadership. I mean, the public will get the numbers down, but they won't get them down far enough. It needs. There's a level of focus needed in this. There's a level of investment in public health needed in this. And there's stuff the public can't do. I mean, the public can't institute testing at the airports. The public can't institute isolation at the airports. But that's what we have to do. And I think if we can show we can do it in one European country, the pressure in other European countries to do the same will be quite considerable. So we could get to a stage within 3 or 4 months where there's a travel bubble across Europe. The airline industry is predicting traffic recovery by 2029. Okay, that's the current prediction, which is dire. If we get this right, if we can get a travel bubble across Europe, we could bring that recovery forwards a lot. I mean, I would love to be able to go on my holidays to the north of Spain next summer. It won't happen unless both Ireland and Spain are effectively at zero.
Finally, and a difficult question to put to you, Professor Anthony Staines, you've spoken and we've spoken to you many times since the start of this pandemic. Looking into your scientific crystal ball, where do you see us in 2021?
I think we have a choice to make. We could be back more or less to normal, but with significant restrictions on travel in and out of the country by March. Or we could be in another lockdown by March. And it's up to us, it's up to the government, it's up to Micheál Martin and his colleagues in the Cabinet to make that choice. I mean, I would recommend they go for the short-term pain, long-term gain model. because otherwise I see a series of lockdowns. We could conceivably have one in March. We'll probably have another one in June, July. What's the point? At some point, there will be a vaccine which will make life easier. But it has to be more effective than we think it's going to be to repair the economy.
All right. Dire warnings. Stick at this or we'll be back to square one in a couple of months' time. Professor Anthony Staines, thank you very much indeed for talking to us on 98 FM.
Thank you very much, Adrian.
The sound of the city, from Stony Batter to Stepaside. This is 98 FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
So we've heard from Professor Anthony Staines from DCU. He's DCU Health Systems Professor, saying basically that if we relax things again too quickly going into Christmas 2020, we'll be back at square one in February. God forbid. Let's get your reaction to this. This is Neil.
Hey Adrian, how are you? Christmas this year is going to be the same as Christmas any year. There's nobody, I don't think, going to stop anybody visiting their parents or their grandparents or family relatives this Christmas. Cheers, pal.
All right, Rachel agrees with what Professor Staines was saying.
Morning, guys. I definitely don't think we should open up in December. I think it will be absolutely ridiculous if we do. Everybody will just go mental in the shops, bars, restaurants, including myself. I can't wait to go out for dinner. I can't wait to go to the pub. I can't wait to go back to the gym. But I just think it would be pretty stupid if we opened in December, because the inevitable is going to happen and we're going to be closed again in January. And it's just going to keep stopping and starting. Like, the vaccine is near, I believe. So, I think we should just wait. What's another 5 or 6 weeks? It's been a tough year. We know that. Everybody knows that. But I just think another 5 or 6 weeks would be no harm. December is the worst month to be opening up the country again. Like, absolutely. I'm not being a Scrooge or a Grinch. People can still do their online shopping. There is no need to go into town. There's just no need for any of this. Yes, it's awful on businesses, but what's the alternative? We open up and then we close again for January, February. It's just not going to work. As I said, the vaccine is close and I just can't wait till it gets here, to be honest, at this point. I just think we all need to hold on and wait, because it's, as I said, it's obvious what's going to happen. I doubt many of your listeners will agree with me, but if you just think about it, it's common sense. So hopefully you'll give them another perspective anyway. But thanks anyway for calling it my voice note.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Linda, you're on 98 FM. Hiya, Linda.
Yes, I kind of agree with the last caller, because we can't keep shutting down the country, opening it back up. But at the same time, I feel some small restrictions might have to be lifted. Like, at the moment, we have 5 kilometres. People aren't.
Nah, nobody's abiding by that at all. Well, I don't know anybody who is. I really don't.
I think some people are. We are anyway in our house.
Okay.
Yeah, but
okay, so you'd like to see that?
You're probably half right. Maybe people aren't, but maybe even if some stuff's opened back up, you don't want it getting chaotic, because we open things back up and then we're back to square one. You know?
So if we're looking at the 1st of December, the 6 weeks of level 5 will be up on the 1st of December, and obviously before then the government has to decide what's going to happen. What would you like to see remaining restricted then?
I think pubs should probably stay closed. I think restaurants or hotels could open up, but have the table bookings, keep the social distancing and that kind of thing. Because pubs, all they want to do is make money, and if they open up too soon and just let everybody in, I know the majority of them are saying they have things in place, but there is the odd few that were open before that didn't totally and were bending rules. And just to have it right, maybe hotels and restaurants.
Okay, hotels and restaurants, but keep the pubs closed.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that will do enough? In other words, what I'm trying to find out is, do people, regardless of what restrictions are in place, do people plan to restrict this Christmas? That's really what I'm trying to find out. Because the warning is that if we reopen everything and everybody carries on as if we're a normal Christmas, we will be back to square one in February.
Well, we don't want to be back to square one in February. We want to be able to get through this lockdown, and when we open things back up, to have somewhat of a normal type summer where we can go places, do things.
I was interested to see a video earlier on that was filmed over the weekend at a rugby match in Brisbane, Australia, with thousands of people at it, because they have gotten past this and their life has returned to normal. You can't imagine this country having a rugby match anytime soon with 20 or 30 or 40,000 people.
I very much doubt it. Rugby matches, GA matches, concerts, everything have been on hold.
Okay,
and
so
we don't know when we're going to get back to normal.
You would like to see restrictions extended a little bit if it means we don't end up here again?
Basically, yeah. I literally haven't seen my parents since the 9th of October, and now today's the 9th of November.
Right, okay. Yeah, I can see
so,
that.
We have been obeying the rules.
Okay, stay there for 1 second, Linda. Just as a by the way, because somebody just texted in a moment ago. Hi, Adrian. All my family are following the 5K rule. And as you know, in level 5, we're not meant to stray more than 5 kilometres from our homes. Now, obviously, for some of us who are working, that's not an option. You can travel to work. But I'd love you to just send me a yes or no to that question. Are you observing the 5 kilometre rule? In other words, are you not travelling more than 5 kilometres from your home? Just WhatsApp me yes or no to 0877 98 98 98. I'm of the impression that not many people are following that. Maybe I'm wrong. Send me a yes or no on WhatsApp to 0877 98 98 98. Are you following the 5K rule? That's the question. Just answer yes or no, and maybe I'll stand corrected, but I have a feeling not as many people are. But send me a yes or no to 0877 98 98 98. Now, Eddie, you're on 98 FM. Hi, Eddie.
Go on, Adrian, you well?
Eddie, you disagree, should I say, with a lot of what Linda was saying. That
Well, I've got some bad news for her. We are going to end up in level 5 again. What we're doing now, suppress the virus, lockdown, open up, figures go up, suppress it again. That's just done so the hospitals aren't overwhelmed. Now, Adrian, you know yourself, come December the 1st, when everything opens, the shops, etc., the world on its way to be out, Christmas shopping, kids trying clothes on, etc. By about December the 14th, the figures will go up. We'll be in some sort of level of lockdown for Christmas. If you want Christmas points, it'll be outdoor dining. And then come January, after the Christmas, because everyone won't be able to go to the pub for a good session because they'll only be allowed a certain amount of time. Everyone will be having house parties. God knows what New Year's Eve is going to be like. There'll be house parties galore. And then come January, the figures will go through the roof and we'll be in probably level 5 again. And it'll just keep continuing, lockdown open until the virus.
What Anthony Staines was saying was that we can get this down to nearly zero to get to the level that Australia's at now. And
we're different people, Adrian. I don't know how they've done it over there, but our country, we just, the same in Britain, we just don't seem to adhere to the rules. Like level, like the 5K, like I broke that yesterday. I went to Dunleary Pier from Clondalkin for a walk because I was fed up walking around the same park all the time. I didn't need, just for my mental health, just to...
And in fact, I'm looking at the messages that are coming in, and keep them coming in. We're asking you, are you adhering by the 5 kilometre rule, other than for work or school? And it's roughly 50-50. So there are a lot of people that aren't...
Fair play to them, but I mean, I was social distancing, are you responsible?
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, really, isn't it?
I broke the 5K.
Okay, do me a favour, Ed. Stay there for 1 second, because I have to take a quick break, but I'll come straight back to you. And Sophie, I'll take your call after the break as well.
98.
It's 11 o'clock across Dublin. Good morning. This is Adrian Kennedy. This is 98 FM's Dublin Talks. And this is Laura with Monday's top headlines.
Thanks, Adrian. Good morning. There are plans to build up to 60 wind turbines outside Dublin Bay. The offshore wind farm would be around 10 kilometres off the coast and cost over €1 billion. The developers are to lodge planning permission for the turbines, which will be around 300 metres in height, early next year. They hope the Dublin Array project will be in operation by 2026. 3 sushi restaurants in Dublin have been shut down as the Food Safety Authority says they were operating from a bedroom. Koi Sushi, Nagoya Sushi and Kyoto Sushi, all located in Santry, have been issued with closure orders. The FSAI says it's due to unregistered online sushi takeaways operating from a bedroom of a house. And the head of the HSE says we can have a reasonable Christmas when we come out of level 5 restrictions. CEO of the HSE, Paul Reid, believes we can have a good Christmas, but we have to be in contact with fewer people than usual. And now you're up to date on 98.
98 FM's Dublin Talks. Call 6797 981.
And good morning from Adrian Kennedy. We were asking you, just as a by the way, in this conversation that we're having about the run up to Christmas, and you've just heard the boss man of the HSE, Paul Reid, saying we can have a normal-ish Christmas if we restrict the amount of people that we see. Anyways, just as a by the way, I was asking you, are you abiding by the 5 kilometre travel limit that is in place during level 5? 55% of you, so a majority, said yes. Okay, 55% of you said yes, 45% of you said no. Looking at the traffic over the weekend, I don't believe that for 1 second, but anyway, maybe it's true. 55% of you say yes, you have abided by the 5 kilometre restrictions. 45% of you saying no. Now, a lot of reaction coming in on what you're planning for Christmas. Brian sent me this.
Adrian, lockdowns are going to happen either way. It's going to be a yo-yo effect. So just open the place up Christmas either way. Now, whether it's going to be lockdown January, February, March, April, May, June or July next year, it's going to happen anyway. So just open December and let us get on with it so we can have a good time. And then we just deal with the rest of it next year. Cheers, now.
All right, Tommy sent me this message.
I completely agree with the professor there. I really don't understand how people can think that another few weeks and we'll get the cases right down to 0 and have no COVID in the country, and then we can just open it up again during the Christmas period and not have any ramifications. There are still people coming in from abroad, and there will always be 1 or 2 that sneak in and out with the virus. So it just seems kind of illogical or irrational for anybody to suggest that we should have a COVID-free Christmas. It just doesn't make sense. If they're talking about vaccines in 2 years, this is obviously a quick-stop shop to get a nice Christmas, but afterwards we're going to be in chaos once again. People coming from abroad to see family. I don't understand the logic at all. If people think that it's going to go away, why? Give me a good answer, why?
All right, Tommy, thank you very much indeed. Let me go to Sophia. You're on 98 FM. Hi, Sophia.
Hey, Adrian.
Now, what are you thinking of for Christmas? We just heard in the news there that Paul Reid from the HSE says we can have a normal-ish Christmas if we restrict the amount of people we see.
That's all that matters to me. Like, it's not all about parties and house parties for people at Christmas. There's people that just need to see their immediate family that are old age and that are sick, that it were restricted from seeing them. Now, God forbid anything was to happen to someone around me that was personally dying. Like, you don't get to spend your last moments with that person. I've went through that myself. I've lost somebody very close to me through a deadly disease last Christmas. Now, we got told he was going to get longer than he should have, but he didn't make it to the years that he should have. So here we go. Like, people are saying not to go see our family for Christmas. What if, God forbid, something happened to them this Christmas and they didn't get to visit them next Christmas? Because people think, oh yeah, next Christmas we can visit people. But what if people don't make it that far?
Yeah, okay, so what you're saying is you want to be able to see close family and you're happy enough with that.
Yeah.
You're not bothered about having house parties or anything like that.
No, it's not like pubs are a problem for me. Nothing like that bothers me. It's just seeing immediate family that are like well and physically able to see it, like your grandmother that isn't borderline. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's people that you can go and visit that you're not like stepping on toes, or you're not like spreading viruses to them, that they're able to see it.
Okay, so no other restriction bothers you except being able to visit family and friends?
Well, there is, but like that's mostly the important one for me. Like I have no reason to travel more than 5k, so I'm staying in my limit. Not that if I did have to travel 5k, I would break that limit. But at the moment, I have had no reason to travel more than 5k, so I'm staying in my 5k. But for me, right now, it is visiting people and like exercising. Like, God, you can't even go to the gym. Like, people like myself that struggle with mental health, a gym is most important. And for the gyms are closed, so the people that struggle with mental health, going for a walk mightn't clear your mind. Going to the gym might.
All right, stay there for 1 second if you can, please, Sophia. Neve, you're on 98 FM. Hiya, Neve.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, thank you, Neve. Well, you heard what Professor Anthony Staines was saying. Is if we reopen everything and we try and have a normal Christmas, we will be back to square one in late January or February.
I think I think even if we were closed and we were in lockdown during December, I still think that later on, maybe February, March, April next year, we'll be back in a lockdown anyway.
So it doesn't matter whether we put it off now or put it off then. Yeah. It's going to happen again anyway, is it?
Exactly. I think that, like, look, we're already back to lockdown again. So, I mean, like, everything opened back up. People are rushing out. People are dying to go to the shops, the pubs. They were going for food. And this is why it's after happening again.
So is there a way of it not happening again? That's really the point that Anthony Staines was making, that if we can have at least some restriction, maybe just the pubs not reopening or whatever, over the month of December, that we mightn't get back to where we were in January. And I have to say, I was looking at that video from Brisbane in Australia, and 20 or 30,000 people at a rugby match. I can't even imagine what that's like.
Yeah. It just seems so surreal now, like, to even think that we could go to a concert nowadays, or, you know, if you leave the house without a mask, you're panicking because you're like, oh my God, what's people going to think of me, you know, if I walk into the shop with no mask on or whatever. Maybe if we did stay, maybe if we were locked down a little bit longer, you know, but lockdown everything. Like, I was in Dublin the other day picking up pyjamas, and the place was packed. It was rammed.
We're never going to shut down supermarkets. You can't.
No, I know that. But I'm talking about the clothes department. Even though they're only selling pyjamas and underwear and stuff like that, it was packed.
Right.
People were packed. It was rammed. Do you know what I mean?
Now, I have to say, I do like the suggestion that's going around. I think it was Penny's threw this out there about opening 24 hours running up to Christmas. I think that could be a great idea, because I think it could spread out the shoppers.
Yeah, it could. What are they going to do? I'm a hairdresser. What are they going to do when the salon's opening back? People are not going to want to work 24 hours a day doing hairs when they have kids and stuff at home. Do you know what I mean? What are you going to do for that? Like, as soon as the salons open back up, as soon as the barbers open back up, people are going to be rushing to get their hair done for Christmas. They're going to get their nails done, their lashes done. Like, it's like, you know, I don't know. Where does it end? Like, where does it end? Where do you say, actually, no, we won't open this and we won't open that? Like, I just don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think they even know what the answer is.
Yeah, I don't think they do either, which is a bit concerning. But for you, you're happy to have some restrictions still in place, you know, or you're resigned to the fact that we'll probably have another lockdown after Christmas?
You're probably resigned to having another lockdown after Christmas. As the message I sent in, Adrian, I normally have like 10 or 12 for Christmas dinner. I am still going to have immediate family over for Christmas, like my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my dad, and me and my partner, our little boy. We're all going to spend Christmas together regardless. Like, we're not around anybody anyway. The furthest place we go to is the shops. And I think people are thinking the same thing when it comes to Christmas.
I don't know what your situation is and how you feel about that, or how anybody else feels about that. But that's just my opinion on it, and that's just what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm in two minds over what I think should happen over Christmas. On the one hand, I really find it difficult driving past bars and restaurants that are shuttered. I don't know how these businesses are surviving, and from a financial point of view, I think they should all be allowed to reopen again. However, the thoughts of coming back to level 5 again after Christmas is just awful, and it's awful for somebody like you as well. You're back out of work again, and
exactly. And you know what, Adrian, we were literally in the middle of buying a house, and then we went into lockdown, and the banks, because I was out of work, the banks literally would not look at us because I was out of work. So we're actually in the middle of buying a house as well, and that's having a knock-on effect on people buying houses and stuff like that. So it is, of course,
there's huge knock-on effects. Yeah. All right, Niamh, thanks very much indeed. But you obviously hope to be back to work on the 1st of December, do you?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully,
fingers crossed. Okay, let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice note from Eamon.
Hi, Adrian, it's Eamon here. Yeah, I'm just thinking, why can the government not say, put the whole country back on a level 3, enforced level 3, and open up pubs and things from 11 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, and then from 8 o'clock in the evening till 6 in the morning, a level 5 curfew. I mean, it'll be cheaper just to pay the off-license to stay closed and to pay the supermarkets not to sell alcohol. And then at least people can socialise during the day and in the evening, and they can get back to work. I mean, give it a go and see what happens. Cheers, thanks.
All right, Eamon, thank you. This is Scott.
I think it's very simple. We're going to be going through this repeat process of lockdown, out lockdown, lockdown, out lockdown, all the way through till next Christmas. It's very simple. Just close your borders, eradicate the problem, get the numbers down to 0, and then we play it by ear from there. But until you can close the borders and get the virus out of the country, get the numbers down to 0 for a minimum of 2 weeks, we're just going to be doing this over and over and over again. And it's going to cost the country a lot more money than just closing the borders. They just have to strap your boots up and do it.
All right. Sophia, I was going to go to another call and the other call's gone, lads, if you want to try and get that back. Sorry, this is Samantha.
Hi, Adrian. I personally think whether we open up in December or not, I think COVID cases are just going to go through the roof regardless of when we open. I mean, we've seen that ourselves when we opened the country up again after the first lockdown. It's a proven fact, Adrian, that lockdowns don't work. They're only a temporary fix. It's just like putting a plaster over it, really, for the time being. I personally think until we do like what that man was saying about closing down our borders like the way Australia and New Zealand have done, I can't see us ever coming to grips with the virus. I mean, even if we open up in December, you can just imagine what the crowds in the shops are going to be like. There's going to be no social distancing, no nothing, you know what I mean? I just think until we get to grips with ourselves and do like what that man was saying, close our borders down, only allow cargo in, close the borders down, I think it's only then we'll be able to get some sort of grasp on the virus. Lockdowns don't work. Thanks, Adrian. Bye-bye.
All right, Samantha, thank you. I could argue with you, Samantha, though, that lockdowns do work. Look how successful they've been in Australia. Jimmy says this is all down to common sense.
Morning. I'm just listening to the show and you were talking about like lifting restrictions and everything. It's a grand to lift restrictions and everything like that, but it's people's common sense that we need to realise. It's down to ourselves. You see people there, the people like getting on the Lewis and everything like that, like people have just done all cop on, and I don't know what people are trying to say. We need a normal life. We do need a normal life, but we need to learn how to live a normal life with this virus. It's ridiculous at the moment.
All right, Jimmy. And finally, this WhatsApp voice note from Kira.
I thought the whole point of this 6-week lockdown was that so we could have a normal Christmas so that the virus would go. But obviously, clearly, it's not going anywhere and doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon for the next couple of years, at least anyways. Like, it's just stupid. It's never, ever going to end. So just let us all go out and live our lives. And as that girl said, like, my nanny's 95. She's been sitting in her house obeying by the government rules ever since March. She's not letting any of us in with her. I mean, what if she dies of natural causes soon? Like, she is 95. And what she's out there spending the past 9 months sitting in her house on her own because of this virus. Being stupid.
All right, Ciara, thanks very much indeed. And thank you, all of you, for your messages. The message really is, at least for now, keep up what we're doing. The figures are slowly but surely going in the right direction. They're up and down like a yo-yo, but they're trending in the right direction. Keep up what we're doing, and certainly the shops will be open come the start of December. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Whether the entire hospitality sector is open in December remains to be seen. But let's just keep doing what we're doing. Keep your distance, wash your hands, cough into your elbow, everything that we've been brainwashed into knowing instinctively at this stage. And hopefully we can have a normal December/Christmas 2020, or at least a little bit more normal. Anyway, you're listening to 98 FM's Dublin Talks. This is Adrian Kennedy with you until midday today. Now, next on the programme, this is an interesting one. And I want to find out how you feel about this. Do you have a decent website where I can watch the match this evening? It's a very common question to be asked. Does anyone have a link for the Liverpool match? A decent streaming site? Have you one of those dodgy boxes that you can watch everything? Just some of the texts that are sent and received over the weekend, every weekend. It's a topic that we've never really discussed before, yet it's a huge issue, with thousands of you illegally streaming football matches every weekend rather than paying for Sky Sports or BT Sports or Air Sport or whatever. An article in the UK News Today says that because pubs have been closed during this football season, illegal streaming of matches at home is at an all-time high. People can no longer go down to their local to watch a Premier League match, so they're staying at home, they're not buying Sky Sports, and they're streaming it all illegally. The article says empty stadiums and strict social distancing rules in pubs, even if they are open, is creating a piracy boom as fans are turning to illegal streams to watch the new season. But why do so many people think it's perfectly okay to do this and see no problem with it? Do you illegally stream matches rather than pay for Sky Sports or BT Sport or Air Sport or Virgin Media Sport or any one of them? And if so, what's your justification for doing it? Do you see it as theft? Because theoretically it is. Mr. Sky Sports wants a few bob from you for the service that he provides. But if you don't pay him and you take his product without his consent, that is theft, really, isn't it? So before the break, I want to do a social experiment, and I want to find out how widespread this is. So since the football season started back, have you illegally streamed any football or any sports events? I want you to just WhatsApp yes or no to 0877 98 98 98. 0877 98 98 98. So answer that question for me. Since the football season resumed, have you illegally streamed either on a website or with one of the dodgy boxes or an app on your phone? Just send me yes or no to 0877 98 98 98. And if you do it, why don't you see a problem with it? We'll take a very quick break and we'll take your calls in just a moment.
The sound of the city, from Drumcondra to Dorky. This is 98 FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
Now, fortunately for me, over this past weekend, all of the sport that I wanted to watch was available free to air, either through Sky Sports Mix, which is where I watched the Dublin match, or on RTE, where I watched the Cork versus Kerry match yesterday. So I was lucky. I didn't. What I wanted to watch over the weekend was available free of charge anyway. And just as a complete by the way, isn't it great that Kerry are out of the All-Ireland? Beaten by Cork. I don't know if you saw the match yesterday. Oh my God, a goal literally in the last kick of the ball. But anyway, so Kerry are out of this year's All-Ireland. But sorry, the point I'm making is that for the sport that I wanted to watch over the weekend, and I did watch quite a bit of GAA over the weekend, it was all available free to air. If I wanted to watch any of the Premiership matches, which I happened not to, it wasn't available free to air because most of it is on the subscription sports channels. Now, we asked you before the break, have you, since the football season began, illegally streamed any of the matches, or any sports for that matter? And whether that be golf or soccer or whatever. In answer to that question, and this is the point that comes out from this article in the news today, 66% of you have admitted, yes, you have illegally streamed a match or a sporting event over the last couple of months. 66% of you said yes, 34% of you said no. That's a very high figure. An article in the news today says that because pubs have been closed during the football season, that illegal streaming of matches at home is at an all-time high. So, obviously, a lot of you, if there was a big match on and it's on Sky Sports or whatever, you'd head down to your local and watch it. We can't do that at the moment, so people are doing it illegally. James, you're on 98 FM. How are you, James?
How are you, Adrian? All right?
Good, thank you. What did you want to say on this?
Yeah, I'm just wanting to ring up about topic there about illegally streaming. Basically, I just think with everything going on, I just think it's an absolute rip-off now at the moment. Myself, I have Virgin Media and I have the sport package on the internet. And my bill every month it's about €148 a month. Now, I haven't got BT Sport. Because to get BT Sports, you have to get the earbox, which you usually be able to get it all under one box.
Right.
So if I wanted to watch any matches on BT Sports, I'd have to get the earbox.
So you can't get it all in the one place?
No, and then on top of that, like say if you were into the UFC, you used to be able to get that free, but now that's pay-per-view. So on top of, if you have the earbox, to watch UFC, you have to ring up and pay for that also. Mm-hmm. And then with the new Premiership Plus, they're charging €14-15 every game. So that some matches, if you wanted to watch all the matches legally, that's like an extra £60 only on one weekend. So we can understand, and I do it myself. Look, I watch the matches constantly on my phone, on my laptop, on my iPad, every day really. Anytime there's a match on, I was only watching the Arsenal match last night because I think that was €15 to buy. The Arsenal Villa match, and then I watched the Liverpool match on the TV, on the Virgin box, and then I watched what was the other game, the Leicester game, I think it was, the 1 o'clock game. I watched that on my phone. And the apps are easy to download. Like that, I'm not going to say the apps are.
No. And if people want to do this, they can do it easily.
Very, very easily. Yeah.
But and obviously, we're not going to do as a
no
as a licensed radio station going to advertise it. But I know how easy it is to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but the argument here is, James, that this is a vicious circle, is it not? That if people continue to do that. And stop paying for sports, then companies like Sky won't be able to afford to pay the Premier League teams the money that they get paid for television rights, and it becomes a vicious circle.
Yeah, no, it's 100% correct. There is. The money in football is crazy, but that's only in England. That's not all around the world. Like in a lot of countries, like I think in Canada there's one, in America I think the Zone. I think they pay like £100 or $100 a year, and you get all the football. I think in America with cable TV, I think cable TV, because it was in New York a couple of years ago, and the matches are just on all day. So there is ways around it. It's just the way the Premier League is in England. It's an absolute disgrace, and it's an absolute rip-off. Like how can you, like, people can hardly afford everyday things, and then you're asking them to spend hundreds upon hundreds just to watch the football. Like it's crazy. Like,
but is this not the same thing, James, as walking into a department store and robbing a designer scarf on the pretense that, well, it's too bloody expensive?
I don't, like, oh, yeah, it is, like, obviously illegal streaming, and you can get in big trouble for it, but like, I don't know, like, it's sport at the end of the day. Like, it shouldn't, there should be a cost to it, but it shouldn't be as expensive. Like, at the end of the day, it is stealing, and there is, like, you are illegally streaming, and I understand if you get caught, you're in big trouble, and, like, a lot of the dodgy boxes and all, like, I remember going back to the old boxes called the decoder boxes, the black boxes, and so on and so forth. But
okay, so you don't feel any guilt about it at all, is what I'm getting from you, yeah.
No, I mean, not when Liverpool are playing anyway, because I'll watch anything I'll do anything to watch Liverpool.
But if you love them that much, surely you'd pay for the sports channels to make sure that it's uninterrupted. And let's be honest, I mean, I've seen some streams and, geez, you get all sorts of buffering and all sorts while you're trying to watch them because loads of people are doing this. Wouldn't it be much better to just switch on Sky Sports and watch it properly?
But I have Sky Sports, Adrian. That's what I'm telling you. Like,
okay, so this was stuff that was on elsewhere. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I'm paying €138 a month for me, Virgin. That's what I'm saying. Am I supposed to pay another $138 for early?
Actually, you've just raised an interesting question. And I want you to text me in the answer to this question as well, okay? Taking in everything, be it your Sky, your Virgin Media subscription, and then your subscriptions for Netflix or Amazon or Disney or whatever other streaming services you subscribe to, what is your total television bill every month? Okay? In euro. What is it for you, James? You said 138.
It's 138, and then, we have Netflix, we have Disney Plus, we have PlayStation Plus.
Right, so you're up to 160 or 170 quid a month.
And then you can get the likes of Amazon. It's very good. We haven't got that, but you can pay up the likes. And then that's what I'm saying. Like, if you added on, if you wanted to watch all the football, say the new Premiership Plus or whatever it's called that they're charging, you could be up to over 200, nearly 250. Like, it's crazy money. Like, I know you said in my text message there, I'd happily pay €100 a month, a year, 150 a year for the specialised channels that shows all the matches. See the way Virgin have it on the new box when European games are, and you can watch all the games. You can go at Virgin Media Extra 1, Virgin Media Extra 2. I would happily pay for something like that for the Premiership. Do you know what I'm saying? Like an app on the telly or something. And they do it in other places around the world.
All right, stay there for 1 second if you can, please, James. Send me a message, and I want you to add it all up. So your Sky or your Virgin Media subscription, plus your Netflix or your Amazon or your Disney or whatever other streaming services that you have, how much are you paying every month? That's what I want to find out. For me, it is €90. So I have Sky with Netflix included, and then I also pay for Amazon. So that brings me up to about €90. Now, I know if you just sign up today, it's €30 with Netflix. But anyway, I'm past that. But so €90 is what I'm paying every month. What are you paying every month for your television? That's what I'm asking you. Come up with a figure. Stephen sent me this WhatsApp voice note.
Yes, every single match. IPTV, can't beat it. Boom. I haven't paid for one match. Oh, Stephen.
You see, yeah. Okay, Sinead sent me this.
We have a dodgy box years. There's no way I would pay the prices that Sky and Virgin are looking for. If we were to pay them for what we get on the box, it'd be hundreds of pounds a month, and there's no way we could afford that. Thanks, Sinead.
All right, Sinead, thank you. She has a dodgy box, as does Kevin.
Hi, Adrian. This is a topic that actually is really relevant for me. I actually pay for Sky Sports with Virgin Media. I don't have BT Sports with that, and the team I support, you have to pay €15 extra for the last 2 games if you wanted to watch them. I'm a season ticket holder with the team as it is, obviously I can't get to any games, and it's just ridiculous that you'd have to do that. So yeah, I watched them on the dodgy box. No problem, and I've no second thoughts about it. I still pay for Sky Sports, but it's the extra games that I can't watch that I will watch them on the dodgy box, because I already am paying for a season ticket. I'm paying for a membership, so I don't see why I should have to pay €15 for an extra game here and there. It's a joke. I know they're getting rid of that now, but for the last 6 weeks that wasn't the case. So I don't think it's theft at all, actually. I think the problem lies with the broadcast companies. They should all be kind of... BT should be included with just Sky Sports. That's just my opinion, but there you go.
All right. The reason it's not, Kevin, is they're competing companies, and they try to outbid each other to get Premiership matches, and they pay very dearly for the privilege. So that's how you have the not included, if you know what I mean. Andreas, you're on 98 FM. Hi, Andreas.
Good morning, Adrian. How are you?
Good, thank you. You spend over 140 quid a month.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Just as you were talking there, I was also thinking we've now got Amazon Prime as well. So
yeah, which I have myself.
50, yeah. Do you know what? I've always paid Sky. I've always found them a fantastic service.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
But since they started or attempted to charge individually for the games, I pay for BT, Premier, Sky Sports, the whole package. But I thought it was really greedy of them to try and charge independently for games. So I got an Android box.
Sorry, and just on that, because I'm not a big Premiership follower, to be quite honest, so it hasn't been an issue for me. But explain that to me. They've been charging per match in certain circumstances.
Yeah, so at least one of the games every, say, match day. So you can have Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and they'll charge you for one of the games each day if you want to watch it.
Right.
Now, I'm paying for that service already.
You know, without having to pay extra on top of it,
yeah.
Exactly. That does seem a bit of a rip-off, to be honest.
Well, put it this way, you're paying for maybe your television license RT. So say the RT decided to put RT box office, and if you wanted to watch a GAA match, you'd have to pay an extra 20 quid for each match. How would you feel about that?
No, I'd be very annoyed, yeah, of course.
In
fact, I even found it annoying when... now, it's not happening this year, but it certainly did last year and the year before, where certain matches were only available on Sky Sports.
I remember it.
And if you didn't have a... Now,
this
year they've put all the matches on Sky Sports Mix, which is available to everybody, which is good. But you know, Adrian, the fact is that if Sky got hold of the GAA, the All-Ireland final might cost you 20 quid extra. Yeah.
The semi-final or the Leinster final might cost you an extra 20 quid because they know the demand is there. You will feel fairly disgusted if you pay for Sky.
I can get that. Is my understanding that did somebody not just say that Sky are going to stop that policy of charging for different matches? No.
Okay, well take the boxing. The boxing is the exact same. I pay for Sky Sports. They have the rights to a lot of the bigger fights. They want 20 odd quid for each fight. Now I'm already paying them for that service. But if there's anything on higher demand, they're going to try and charge us for it. Now, I can get all that free on my Android box. I paid 60 quid once off.
Okay, so it's this feeling of being ripped off, and you are paying a fair bit of money, as you just said. You feel ripped off with the extra stuff, basically. That's what you're saying. And that's Absolutely. The bit that you won't pay for.
Exact. No, it's not the fact that I won't pay for it. I won't pay for the whole service because I thought it was very selfish and greedy of them to do so. So they've lost a customer in me. And let's be honest, Adrian, I don't want to advertise illegal streaming services, but there's a lot of them out there. I can watch any match I want, any boxing match I want.
Okay, let me read a message that's just come in. This is with regard to some matches being pay-per-view. It is because the money goes back into the football leagues and they have no revenue because they've no crowds, and it is a ploy to help the smaller teams.
Yeah, and you'd actually believe that, would you? That's going to Sky.
But I do know. But I do know that the smaller clubs are in a really bad way financially.
Yeah, but it's not the smaller clubs. It's the Premiership clubs that they're charging for.
All right, stay there for 1 second. You don't feel any guilt because you are paying your 140 a month, and the extra stuff is the stuff that you're not paying for.
Exactly.
And you don't feel any guilt.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm looking not to pay 140 anymore, because let's be honest, Sky, all it is an advertisement board.
Okay, stay there. I want to just play this WhatsApp that's come in from Scott.
People go on like the football is something they're entitled to watch. The highlights are on YouTube 5 minutes after the match. A match of the day is on every night. Pay the price or you don't get to see the game.
What do you say to that?
Oh, well, I am paying the price. I'm paying 140 euros a month. It's not that I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, but you're not paying the full whack.
No, but up to now, Adrian, I could watch any Premiership game I want on Sky if they were showing it. Now it's select on what games you can watch unless you're willing to pay the extra 15 quid. So I rang Sky, not that you get an answer now anyway, but I'm asking why am I paying 140 euros a month? Why am I paying for Sky Sports if you're not facilitating me the games?
All right, stay there for 1 second, Andreas. 6797 981 is our telephone number. You can send us a WhatsApp voice note to 0877 98 98 98 and I'll take more of your calls straight after the break. Don't go away.
The sound of the city, from Kilbarrack to Kiltiernan. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
66% of you in a lightning fast survey here at Dublin Talks have admitted that since the football season began, you have illegally streamed a football match or football matches. 66% of you said yes, 34% of you said no. And that corresponds very well with an article in the UK news today that says because pubs have been closed during the football season, that illegal streaming of matches at home is at an all-time high. And because people can't go down to the local to watch, for example, a Premier League match, they're staying at home and they're streaming them illegally. Let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice note.
Adrian, of course people are going to download matches and watch them, stream them. Sure, they've taken everything away from us. We can do absolutely nothing.
And I did play that before the break. I didn't play this one, though, from Dermot.
Adrian, you keep using the word guilt there. I'd like you to put it out there that anyone who's feeling guilt as such, just think about the footballers who are getting 250 grand a week. Yeah, that's £1 million sterling a month is their wages, and they're getting it through these Sky deals. So think about that when you're guilty, okay?
All right, Dermot. Dave, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Dave?
Hey, Adrian.
Dave, do you do it?
Yeah, I have an app on my TV. Yeah, I do it. I have all the stations, like everything. You wouldn't believe me if I told you the amount of stations I have.
No, I would. I would.
The way I thought it was. Now, it's the app that you get on your TV is not actually illegal. Like it's in the app store on your telly.
Mm.
It's just they unlock it and they give you the link, and it's just all done through that. Like you have to have fairly kind of all right internet, but there's like every channel that I have three different kind of codes on it. I have like a standard definition. I have a HD, and then I have a full HD, which is kind of nearly 4K. So you'd need the stronger internet to stream that. Like
I know, for example, one of the reasons we haven't gone down that road is our internet. We have the worst internet in the whole of County Dublin.
Yeah. Well, I actually now, in fairness, like the internet I have in the house is fairly good. Like it's over 600 meg at the moment. Like,
geez, we're lucky if we get 6.
Because I have a wired connection now into the TV as well. But the guys there, I used to have.
Let me ask you then: do you pay for anything?
I do. Yeah, I have. I actually have Sky. The missus likes Sky because she can record all the stuff, and she likes to kind of go back and all that stuff. So basically, I just got it for the sports. But the sports channels, I have Sky Sports, BT Sports, Premier Sports, HBO Sports, Dad Sports, beIN Sports. Every and you don't pay for any of that? No, that's all unlocked on the thing. All the pay-per-view matches, they're 20 or 30 euro each. They're all on it as well. And
okay, so in terms of sport, you pay for nothing?
No.
You have the basics. You have the basic Sky package so that your missus can record Coronation Street, but you don't pay for any sport.
Yeah, no, all the other channels, like all the basic channels that I'm paying for with Sky is on this as well, and all the movie channels and all that kind of stuff. It's literally all on it.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of the services that are available out there, but if everybody, Dave, were to do this, Sky would disappear.
Yeah, it probably would. But it's just like the price of it's crazy. Like I got that subscription. It's actually from a lad in London that I get mine off.
But you see, the argument here, and for some reason people don't see this as theft, don't see it as... But for example, I would love, because I saw one yesterday, it was gorgeous. I would love a Tesla S-Class car. Love one. Oh man, they're just mega. But I can't afford it, so I don't have it.
Yeah. But if I hadn't even got a subscription to this IPTV, I could just go online anyway, and it's there anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that, and I know how easy it is to get these services. But do you not see the ultimate? As they said in the UK, illegal streaming has become such a problem that ultimately you will see the Premier League suffer because the income won't be there if people all take it for nothing.
There's too much. I think there's too much money in the Premier League anyway to suffer. It's just way too much.
Not for the smaller clubs, there isn't, Dave.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The clubs in the bottom half of the league or in the first division or whatever, they're all really suffering without gate receipts this year. And the only income that they have is from a bit of advertising around the pitch and from Sky. Well, the sports.
But I'd say that's why you never see any of their matches on Sky anyway. Like to be honest, it's just really kind of Premier League and a handful of Championship teams. That's the only thing you see on Sky. Like.
All right, stay there for 1 second. 6797 981 is our telephone number. You can text, you can WhatsApp, or send a WhatsApp voice note to 0877 98 98 98. 0877 98 98 98. Let's have a listen to this from Terry. Actually, I'd love to get your reaction to this, Dave.
Them guys are just talking crap. They still get the same games they always got, and they're paying the same money. The additional €15 is for additional games that they wouldn't have got prior to this season. It's to go to the lower clubs in the league. So tell all of them they're thieves, they're robbers, they're taking money from other people and are spending it.
Okay, I'll come back to Dave to get an answer to that in a second, but let me get a female perspective on this. Fiona, you're on 98 FM. Hi, Fiona.
Hi, Adrian. The sports, I wouldn't have any... I don't care about the sports side of it, so and I'm lucky as well in the family, and the rest of the family don't either. But I pay the 110 for Virgin, 23 for Now TV.
Sorry, the 110 for Virgin. What do you get for that?
It's really just the entertainment ones. Like it's just your Sky Atlantic, your normal stations. And
there's no movies or anything in that.
No movies on that, no.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot more. That's a lot more expensive.
Yeah, I try and ring every year. You know when you say you're going to leave, and you might get a deal for so long. Sometimes it would only be 6 months, and then they put you back on because you're going into contract again. So you're back onto the normal one for 6 months, and I usually try and argue and say, look, I want it for the year, the same price for the whole year. So I probably will try again and.
So it is worth ringing them. We're on the basic enough package from Sky, and it's $83 a month, including Netflix. So if you're not, which isn't bad.
Yeah. But I like the internet now. I'm always hearing things about the internet's pretty good, and they gave me a booster as well when I signed up the last time. So my daughter's in the attic, and it used to be really bad up there. So now, the internet's a lot better than since getting that in. So I don't mind. I just say I'm going to leave. There's Now TV. I was just again, you have to kind of pay €15 for each entertainment package and then €15 for the movies. But if you say you're going to cancel, they'll give you 3 months on $7.50. So you just have to keep
banging the door, keep on at them, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go, so Sophie, that's due to change. Go up and say you're going to cancel, and they'll say, will you stay on, and we'll give it to you for $7.50. The 4th month, then you're back to your 15. You try again to get it down to $7.50 after that. So it's just trying to keep on top of it, and like that, the Disney Plus then will just be paid, was that March or April, €70 for the year. Now, I've never watched that myself.
Okay, so it seems a bit of a waste of money then. I mean, I don't have the Disney subscription because I don't need it. I wouldn't watch it. Seems like, and I know an awful lot of people have signed up for a lot of the streaming services and find themselves not using it at all, to be honest. They just sign up. I signed up, for example, to, what's it called? Amazon, only to get the Borat movie. And and I'm stuck at it. Do you know what I mean? Okay,
have the dodgy boxes, though, years ago, and then they stopped working. You'd get a certain link, and then that would go down, and it's another one, and then sometimes it was buffering. And
have you yourself ever had a dodgy box?
I did, yeah, but it was years ago now, and then I'm not bothered now. It seems like too much work.
Well, it just, like I said, it just wouldn't work in our house because our broadband is so bad. We live 3 kilometres as the crow flies from Dublin Airport, and our broadband is the worst in the whole of Ireland. It really is. It's just appallingly bad.
That would drive me insane.
It does drive me insane. It's one of the reasons, for example, during the lockdown, I couldn't work from home because our broadband is that bad. It's chronic.
Yeah, that's one of the girls now. She can't because of the internet as well. So really.
All right, good to talk to you, Fiona. Let me squeeze in a few more of your messages. This is Tony.
What Sky should do there now is do what the League of Ireland has done. Is €55 a year for League of Ireland football? I know League of Ireland's not Premier League, but at the end of the day, it's €55. Still watch matches. And that's just the same again, League of Ireland on your app as well.
All right, Tony, thanks very much indeed. Let me squeeze in just a couple more messages. Huge reaction to this, actually. An awful lot of you, 66% of you, illegally stream. This is Derek.
Hi, Adrian. Derek Vickers here, just letting you know that on the pay-per-view matches, they're scrapped after last night anyway. I'm paying €128 a month, and I have BT Sports and Sky Sports, but the pay-per-view games are being scrapped after last night. Love the show, just letting you know. Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Derek. And finally, one last message from PJ.
Is everybody stupid or something, calling people robbers? Like, when you started your subscriptions, they were probably 7, 10, 20 quid. And now they're after going up to 80, €100, whatever they are. Like, when we started Netflix, it was 7 quid a month. Now it's like 14 for getting HD. You were supposed to get HD anyway. Do you know what I mean? So if they're adding on little charges, what do they expect people to get free stuff or cheaper stuff or illegal, as you call it? What do they expect?
All right, PJ, thank you very much indeed. And I'm just looking at your messages for the amount of money that you're paying for television services, be it your Virgin or Sky subscription, and then your Netflix and Amazon and Disney and everything else. And on average, it looks like our listeners are paying €110 a month, roughly. €110 a month, with obviously some a lot higher and some lower than that, but 110 a month just for telly, and then a lot of you on top of that streaming illegally. Anyway, there you go. Interesting conversation. Thanks very much indeed, all of you, for your calls. That is it from us for today. If you've enjoyed today's programme, make sure you're here tomorrow between 10 and 12. And if there's anything you want us to talk about on tomorrow's programme, please throw us an email over the next couple of hours to dublintalks@98fm.com. dublintalks@98fm.com if there is anything that you'd like us to talk about on tomorrow's programme. Have a great Monday. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Barry Dunn is on the way with some great music lined up in the next hour, like these.
Tick tock, tick tock, 847 got you on my mind. 98 FM.